So today we will talk about focal disease and cystic lesions of the liver. Among the focal disease, the calcification may be present in the liver. Calcification may be focal. Focal calcification may be due to TB, pneumocystic infection, sarcoidosis, pyogenic abscess, parenchymal hematoma. These inserts surrounded by normal parenchyma. Widespread focal calcification may occur in pneumocystis carinii infection. Focal calcification can occur within benign lesions such as giant hemangioma. Focal calcification can occur in malignant lesions, particularly mucin secreting adenocarcinoma of the colon. In mucin secreting adenocarcinoma of the colon, here often it is the calcification often ill defined. Focal calcification can also be found in primary liver tumors such as hepatoblastoma, fibrolamellar hepatoma. On imaging, X-ray shows gross calcification. CT shows minor calcification such as in MERS. Ultrasound demonstrates calcification, but it cannot distinct from ER. Let us talk about pneumobilia. Pneumobilia, it occurs as a result of sphincterotomy when air comes into the biliary tract or may due to raw loop procedure. Ultrasound shows echo-reflectivity, increased echo-reflectivity that is linear, and it may be due to calcification. So to exclude calcification, we can check the pattern and movement of the gas related to the respiration, bowel peristalsis, or patient position. CT is extremely sensitive in pneumobilia. Let us talk about portal vein gash. Portal vein gash occurs either may be due to increase in intestinal permeability or due to increase in intestinal luminal pressure. So if the increased permeability or increased pressure rises, portal vein gash may be found. These two situations can be found in case of neonatal necrotizing enterocolitis, in case of adult gastric emphysema, intestinal obstruction, infection, and Crohn's disease. The portal vein gash also described in blunt abdominal trauma, invasive abdominal malignancy such as colon carcinoma, ovarian carcinoma. Portal vein gash may be due to ERCP. If duodenal perforation occurs in ERCP, can be due to barium enema in a patient with colitis. The pneumobilia, typically the gash of the pneumobilia, it radiates from the hilum with less marked gravity dependence than pneumobilia. The portal vein gash normally radiates from the hilum with less marked gravity dependence than pneumobilia, and the portal vein gash is more peripherally distributed. On ultrasound, B mode is very sensitively show the portal vein gash. On spectral Doppler, due to the gash bubble overload the system receiver, characteristically we see high-pitched random bubbling sound with focal aliasing artifact in the spectral pattern. It is also seen in microemboli. On CT scan, portal vein gash can be shown if the gash is sufficient. The gash is seen in CT scan. The gash is accumulates peripherally in the portal vein branches. Let us talk about parenchymal gash. This parenchymal gash is maybe due to gash forming organism, maybe infarct, occasionally from trauma, also by hepatic arterial thrombosis following liver transplantation. Parenchymal gash is best demonstrated on CT. Let us talk about benign cystic lesions of the liver. We will talk about the cyst of the liver, hydatid disease, and abscess. Firstly, we will talk about the cyst. Cyst is confidently diagnosed on ultrasound if a patient do not have ovarian metastasis or hydatid disease. And further investigation, ultrasound to CT or MRI need to be done if we found internal echoes or thick septations or a perceptible wall or solid component. The differential diagnosis of the internal echoes, thick septations or perceptible wall or solid component is hemorrhage, abscess, cystic metastasis. For example, ovarian metastasis, biliary cystadenoma or cystadenocarcinoma, and hydatid disease. CT show the simple cyst easily, but difficulty arise with small lesions. In small lesions, partial volume effects efface the characteristics features on CT scan. MRI cannot distinguish between hemangioma on conventional T2 weighted images. If we do heavily T2 weighted images, then we can differentiate from hemangioma. Let us talk about hydatid disease. Hydatid disease is by a parasitic infestation, namely Echinococcus granulosus. It transmits from sheep, foxes, and other wild animals. Here, larvae migrate from the gut, embed in the liver, and they encyst and develop. They may be occurred for several years. On imaging, hydatid cyst appears a wide range of appearance from simple cyst to complicated cyst. Complicated cyst has with may have with any or all the following features such as debris. Debris occurs actually as the hydatid sand made up of dead scoliosis. Dead scoliosis made the hydatid sand, and they may calcify. We also see cyst, that is cyst within cyst known as daughter cyst. We also see membrane separation and wall calcification. Before we do any therapy and intervention, if we suspect hydatid, we need to do serological tests to confirm. Ultrasound, CT, MRI all demonstrate all the feature, but except if wall calcification actually wall calcification obscures the view on ultrasound, then CT is helpful. And we know MRI is not good to demonstrate calcification. Let us talk about abscess. The hepatic pyogenic abscess usually arise from portal pyemia. Fungal and mycobacterial abscess is rising due to increased immunocompromised patient. In early stage of abscess, they may mimic as solid tumors such as metastasis. So, to diagnosis, we need to do aspiration or biopsy. The mortality can be reduced in hepatic abscess, if we do prompt diagnosis and prompt intervention. Ultrasound on early stages show a solid, spherical, ill-defined lesions, and that has low reflectivity. As the abscess liquefies, then ultrasound shows thickened and irregular wall, necrotic center, and the necrotic center then contains sparse echoes from the debris. Abscess on CT scan shows as ill-defined, low attenuated lesions, and also on enhancement, contrast enhancement show rim enhancement. This rim enhancement may be absent if antibiotic is started. MRI also shows an ill-defined lesion that is low in T2 and high on T2, often with a higher outer margin. The differential diagnosis of abscess is necrotic metastasis, and this necrotic metastasis is a cause of it's a cause of malignant cystic lesions. And this necrotic metastasis can occur in ovarian metastasis, also described in teratoma, colonic and metastatic squamous cell tumors. And to exclude abscess from these tumors, we need to do guided aspiration for cytology and microbiological examination. Thank you for listening.